Have you ever wondered what lies behind the neatly arranged shelves and friendly smiles at Walmart? Is there something they're not telling us? A world far different from the everyday low prices image quietly operates behind the scenes. A place where employees face strange policies, silent pressures, and secrets customers are never meant to know. Comment 1. If you think Walmart isn't as simple as it seems on the surface. 1. The open door policy. At Walmart, you'll often hear about something called the open door policy. It's a slogan plastered all over the workplace, paired with a promise that every employee has the freedom to voice their opinions, report injustices, or suggest workplace improvements without fear of retaliation. But the reality isn't as straightforward as what's posted on the walls. For many longtime employees, this open door policy feels more like a carefully set trap, where one wrong step could haunt their career until the end. Many have tried knocking on a manager's door to share feedback, pointing out understaffing, broken equipment, or unreasonable schedules. At first, they're met with promises of serious consideration. But what happens next? Suddenly, their performance reviews start showing negative remarks. Some get reassigned to inconvenient shifts, while others are handed unfamiliar, overwhelming, or irrelevant tasks. It all happens quietly, making it nearly impossible to challenge or prove as retaliation. Some employees share that simply raising concerns about fair pay or workload distribution leads to private internal discussions. From then on, the atmosphere shifts. Managers become less approachable, and coworkers grow cautious. There's no formal warning letter, but subtle actions make the person who spoke up feel unwelcome. From the company's side, any media inquiries or complaints are met with a pre-written statement. Walmart is committed to respecting all employees and investigating all concerns fairly. But in reality, many employees say these internal investigations often end quietly with no tangible changes, and they're never updated on the outcome. The irony is that the slogan "Speak Up to Make a Change" often turns the brave ones who do speak into targets for isolation. Because of this, in many Walmart stores, employees choose silence over injustice, knowing the cost of speaking the truth is too high. This isn't the fault of any single person, but the result of a system that prioritizes outward appearances over internal transparency. 2. The zoning tactic. If you've ever walked past Walmart's shelves late at night and seen employees meticulously arranging cans or bottles so the labels face perfectly forward, you might be witnessing an activity called zoning. It's not just cleaning or restocking shelves. To managers, zoning is an art of retail display, but to workers, it's a grueling, unreasonably demanding task. In theory, zoning creates a smooth, visually appealing shopping experience for customers. Tidy, clean shelves with perfectly aligned products are said to encourage impulse buys, especially at eye level. Market research shows that attractive displays can boost sales by a few percent, a small number that, across Walmart's over 4,700 U.S. stores, translates to hundreds of millions of dollars. And the ones paying the biggest price for that are the workers. It might seem like simply tidying products, but zoning demands an almost obsessive level of precision. Employees must not only align products perfectly, but also ensure every label faces forward, without the slightest angle off. Some managers inspect shelves with clipboards in hand, ready to mark down performance records if they spot a small gap or a misaligned item. This work consumes hours each shift, especially when stores are understaffed during quiet hours, like late at night. One person might be responsible for a dozen aisles, and just as they finish one section, customers unintentionally mess up another. Some managers even use flashlights to check the cleanliness of hidden areas behind shelves. These seemingly minor demands create a stressful, oppressive work environment. While customers see a neat store and assume everything is always ready, behind it all are exhausted workers in blue vests, struggling to complete an endless task. Zoning to such an extreme turns employees into silent cogs in a profit-optimizing machine, where even a slightly misaligned label can be flagged as a performance issue. And that's something Walmart never mentions in their upbeat training programs. 3. The unstable scheduling algorithm. One of the most exhausting aspects for Walmart employees is something customers never see: the work schedule. It sounds simple, but when schedules are dictated by an algorithm, not by human empathy or personal circumstances, things get unbelievably complicated. Many workers sacrifice their health, sleep, and even personal lives just to keep up with those cold, hard numbers. Walmart modernized its scheduling with software promoted as workforce optimization. But the optimization here isn't about stability for workers. It's about maximizing store profits. The system analyzes peak customer hours, sales data, and shopping trends to decide who works which shift and when. The result? One day, an employee might work from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., only to return the next day from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Such constantly shifting schedules disrupt sleep, harm health, and keep workers in a state of constant stress. On top of that, many managers use this tool to cut labor costs, especially when stores face profit targets. They might suddenly cut hours or split shifts to avoid paying higher wages during peak times. This leaves workers not only with reduced income, but also unable to plan their lives. A 2022 internal survey found that 30% of Walmart employees felt dissatisfied with unstable schedules that made it impossible to maintain any routine. The irony is that these erratic schedules are often disguised as flexible, as if Walmart is making life easier for workers. But for those living it, this flexibility feels like a game of chance where they're always at a disadvantage. If you've ever been greeted with a smile by a Walmart employee at 7 a.m., remember they might have only slept a few hours before that. And if you see someone in a blue vest looking tired, rushing by, they might have just received today's schedule at midnight last night. 4. Employee discounts with heavy restrictions. The phrase employee discount sounds like a dream perk for working at a retail giant like Walmart. But dig into the reality, and many long-term employees can only offer a weary smile. The discount isn't just disappointingly small. It comes with so many restrictions that this supposed benefit feels more like a decorative gesture than something truly useful. On paper, Walmart offers its employees a 10% discount card for purchases at their stores. However, this discount only applies to a carefully curated list of items, which rarely includes daily essentials like fresh produce, milk, meat, or common household goods. In other words, the things workers need to get by are often excluded from the discount. It doesn't stop there. The discount policy comes with strict conditions. Employees can only use the card for themselves or immediate family members. Letting someone else use it, even for something as simple as a pack of pencils for a kid, can be deemed policy abuse and lead to internal discipline. There have been cases where employees were reprimanded, or even written up, just for letting a close friend use their discount card to buy a small item. On top of that, the eligible discounted items can change without notice. One day, you might head to the store thinking your blender qualifies for the discount, only to find out at checkout that it was removed from the eligible list yesterday. This lack of consistency and transparency makes many employees feel the discount program is like a beautifully painted cake. Nice to look at, but hard to enjoy. An internal survey once found that over 40% of Walmart employees felt the discount program didn't meaningfully help them save money. Many choose not to use the card at all, or only bother with it on rare occasions because it offers so little practical value. This is especially disheartening when minimum wages at many stores still don't fully cover basic living costs. So, the next time you see a cheerful Walmart employee at the checkout counter, don't assume they're snagging great deals every day. They're likely juggling the same household bills as anyone else, and that discount card in their pocket, despite its name, does little to ease their daily struggles. Once again, it's a hidden truth only those on the inside truly understand. 5. Internal conflicts. At Walmart, customers often confuse team leads with managers because they see them working closely together on the floor. But in reality, there's a clear power gap between these roles that only insiders notice. Team leads are tasked with heavy responsibilities, coordinating inventory, training new employees, handling quick fixes, and even dealing with tense customer situations. Yet when it comes to decision-making authority, they have little say. This makes the team lead role deeply conflicted. They're expected to act like managers, but only have the authority of a senior employee. They can't approve orders, participate in big decisions, or earn bonuses on par with their responsibilities. Meanwhile, they're the first to be held accountable when something goes wrong or goals aren't met. This creates a sense of being exploited and unrelenting pressure. Some team leads report being assigned extra tasks without notice, or being asked to cover shifts unexpectedly without consultation. Many hope for promotions, but after years of effort, they often remain unrecognized. An internal survey revealed that over 40% of team leads feel their duties far outweigh their benefits. This has led some to step back and seek other jobs. To customers, team leads might look like professional coordinators running the show, but in reality, they're caught between the expectations of higher-ups and the limits of their title. This imbalance not only affects their morale, but also creates instability for the whole team. When a middle role becomes so unsteady, the entire operation struggles to stay consistent in the long run. 6. The pressure of controlling shrink. At Walmart, there's a term most customers never hear but one that stresses employees daily: shrink. It refers to any loss of inventory, whether from misplacement, damage, theft, or scanning errors. It sounds simple, but this metric directly impacts employees' pay, year-end bonuses, and even their job security. Walmart employees are constantly reminded that shrinkage is the common enemy. In meetings, managers stress that high shrinkage levels could cost the store its bonuses, lead to poor department evaluations, or even trigger staff cuts. The catch is that losses aren't always the employee's fault, yet the burden to prevent them always falls on their shoulders. A product damaged by a customer dropping it counts as shrinkage. A single scanning mistake at checkout becomes a personal error. Even more stressful is how some managers use shrinkage as a tool for internal control. If a department's shrink is high, the person in charge might get a warning, a lower evaluation, or lose promotion chances. Some stores even enforce collective responsibility, meaning that if one person accidentally drops an item, the whole team could lose performance points. This breeds an environment of suspicion and pressure, eroding team morale. Some employees jokingly say they're part salesperson, part security guard, and part warehouse keeper, because any small mistake can be blamed for shrinkage. In some cases, workers feel watched at every step, knowing a single slip-up could affect their quarterly pay. The irony? Major losses from operational issues or suppliers are rarely mentioned in internal reviews. To customers, shrink is an invisible number. But for Walmart employees, it's a daily, tangible pressure that shapes their mindset and work. They're not just tasked with keeping prices low, they bear the direct consequences when things don't go as planned. And that's one of the quietest hidden truths behind the glowing rollback signs customers see every day. 7. The pressure of being versatile, cross-training. At Walmart, the word versatile might sound like a chance to grow and learn new skills. But for many employees, it's an unspoken burden called cross-training, a practice where workers are constantly shifted between roles and tasks without proper preparation or consent. This happens daily in large stores where staffing is short, but expectations remain sky-high. Initially, employees are hired for specific roles like cashier, stocker, or customer service. But soon after, they might be sent to the food section, then moved to electronics, or assigned to customer care, depending on the store's daily needs. The problem? This rarely comes with thorough training. Most employees get just a few minutes of quick instructions from a coworker before being thrown into a long line of waiting customers or unfamiliar equipment. The pressure comes from being evaluated as if you're experienced in every role, no matter where you're placed. Lack of knowledge isn't excused, and mistakes are logged as personal errors. In an environment that prioritizes efficiency and speed, this leaves many feeling like they're always temporarily filling in, but are held accountable as if it's their main job. Because they juggle multiple tasks at once, it's hard to specialize in any one area. The constant rotation leaves many exhausted and unmotivated for long-term career growth. Some admit they dread hearing their name called, unsure of what task, location, or team they'll be assigned to that day. In an already high-pressure environment, this lack of stability quickly wears down workers' patience. 8. Union avoidance. If there's one topic Walmart consistently dodges in public, it's unions. While many large U.S. companies accept labor organizations, Walmart sees them as a potential threat to its internal control. On the surface, the company claims to value employee feedback and encourages input through internal channels. But when the word union comes up, the atmosphere instantly tenses. Walmart invests heavily in training managers to spot and address early signs of collective action. In many stores, when there's even a hint of union talk, employees are called into urgent meetings. There, they're told about the risks of forming a union, like losing flexible schedules, paying membership fees, or sparking internal conflicts. These arguments are presented smoothly, mixed with negative examples from other workplaces to create unease. In more serious cases, Walmart uses technology to monitor discussions about labor organizing on social media. This surveillance makes some employees feel they've lost their freedom of speech, as even off-hours conversations can become grounds for review. With over 1.5 million employees in the US alone, allowing independent unions could shift the balance of power significantly. That's exactly why Walmart works so hard to maintain the status quo. 9. Performance bonuses. At Walmart, performance bonuses are often touted as a desirable reward for hard-working employees. During orientation, they're presented as proof of fairness and a way to encourage individual effort. But for many long-term workers, these bonuses feel like an enticing cake dangling just out of reach, always close but rarely attainable. The bonus system doesn't just depend on individual performance. It's tied to factors beyond employees' control, like overall store sales, inventory loss rates, customer satisfaction scores, or even local economic conditions. This means you could work flawlessly, always be on time, and complete every task. But if the store misses its sales targets or has significant inventory losses, the entire team might miss out on the bonus. Some employees describe the bonus as more of a lottery than a deserved reward. You could work tirelessly all year, only to hear at the end that the store didn't meet the criteria this time. Worse, the targets often change from quarter to quarter, leaving workers scrambling to adjust without clear guidance. In many cases, the goals are set so high they seem designed to be unreachable. The expectation of a bonus is still used as a motivational tool. Managers often highlight it in meetings, urging the team to work harder together to share the reward. But when the bonus becomes nearly impossible to achieve, it backfires. Instead of inspiring, it leaves employees disappointed, skeptical, and increasingly distrustful of the system's fairness. 10. Coaching write-ups. At Walmart, it's not loud reprimands or severe disciplinary actions that make employees wary. It's the coaching system, a seemingly mild internal write-up process that quietly but deeply impacts their career paths. On the surface, coaching sounds like a supportive mechanism where managers help employees improve skills or correct behavior. But in practice, it's far less friendly. Being a few minutes late, misplacing a product on a shelf, or forgetting to greet a customer per protocol can easily land you a coaching note. These minor errors, if repeated or overly scrutinized by managers, build up as black marks on your record. Some employees reveal they've been written up for things as trivial as chatting with a coworker during work hours or being deemed not enthusiastic enough with customers, a subjective and unclear standard. The real concern? There's often no clear way to dispute a coaching decision. Feedback or explanations from employees are rarely formally acknowledged. And once labeled coachable, your chances of being considered for promotions all but vanish, no matter how well you perform otherwise. Because coaching isn't as public as traditional discipline, many don't realize its impact until it's too late. They only notice their career freezing when they see others getting promoted while they stay stuck. This creates a workplace full of distrust, where employees hesitate to take risks for fear that a small mistake could lead to a coaching write-up and knock them out of the promotion race. Even more troubling, coaching can sometimes be misused as a control tool. When a manager dislikes someone, they might scrutinize them more closely, logging errors more frequently. Meanwhile, favored employees might make similar mistakes without any record. This breeds a sense of unfairness, dampening motivation and team spirit. If these secrets make you see Walmart in a new light, you're not alone. The more we understand, the better choices we can make. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to catch our next discoveries.